Are we okay? We got to fucking... We've got to do the fucking shit that we for fucking drug abuse. No! Are you listening?
Sean here, and here is something that is going to shock no one. Lorne Armstrong apparently talked about his mom a lot when he was in high school. They did a paper on heroes, and I'm going to give you one guess as to who his was. It's just creepy. I posed a question earlier. Do you think that this statement, son of a bitch, would have made Lorne mad? Or is it Mama's boy? Which one do you think insulted his mom worse? Well, in his 87 mind, Mama's boy was the worst thing you could say. Lorne hyper-focuses on words or details, little things that he wants to hear, things that are going to make him mad and give him what he wants. You would have thought son of a bitch, bitch, female dog, but nope, for some reason, Mama's boy used to just set him off. And this is a guy who spends most of his time talking about his mom. And I think he had his first sexual experience of some kind with his mom, walking in on her, getting into her panties, finding a sex toy, something. Either that or his sister. We talked about this. But Mama's boy, if you ever want to piss him off, apparently that's a trigger. Today we're going to be talking about what I think the serial killer MO of Lorne Armstrong would be. And I'm still on the fence about whether or not he's a real psycho. A Canadian serial killer with the last name of Pickett. He lived in a trailer failure. It was moldy and stinky and dirty and nasty from all eyewitness accounts. He would pick up prostitutes, marginalized groups, druggies, bring them back to his trailer, party, and then kill them. Now, he did something else, and we're going to get to that. Lorne, he is so desperate, and we know he only sees women, and I've said it before, as masturbatory sleeves, living fleshlight, that he, thankfully, will never get a hold of one, because I don't think any woman would ever be drunk enough or crazy enough. Although I do have some thoughts about Lorne and what he would do if he came across someone who has special needs, who wasn't able, you know what, that's dark, I'm not going there. But we are talking about his MO as a serial killer. Lorne feels that women have no value other than sex. That is something that a lot of serial killers share. They share that common belief that women don't have any value, especially the marginalized kind. And Lorne, he's not going to be picking up high-class women. He's not going to be picking up middle-class women. Lorne's going to be picking up desperate women who he can prey upon, like these druggies, possibly a prostitute. Because as much as he talks a bunch of shit about catching diseases and everything else, Lorne's not getting laid. No woman's going to tolerate him. And the first one that shows him any attention, I love you, please call me back. We know he's going to just say I love you, and they're going to be hitched forever, whether she wants to be or not. I think Lorne also sees women as possessions. And you're going to see a lot of crossover in some of the things I've talked about in the past and his MO. He sees them as possessions. We talked about female ownership. That's my this, it's my that, you're my woman. I think he believes that. I think he believes that if we're together, I own you. Your vagina is mine. He takes a lot of glee in saying that, which I find disgusting in itself. That bullshit is disgusting. Fucking pathetic. Yeah. His ownership views of women, that is what is most scary to me. If he was to get these women and they left, okay, so let's go back. Scenario number one. He's with a woman. They seem to be getting along. She's with him for a couple months, and she leaves. We know it's going to be a nasty breakup with stalking and everything else, but there possibly violence, but it's not going to be as bad as scenario two. The second woman comes along. She gets fed up with his shit earlier than the other one, but this time Lorne can see it coming. It's going to get violent. It's going to get ugly. But I think she would be able to escape with her life. Scenario number 3. The first two have already come and gone. And this one, Lorne has in his mind, is going to be the one. They're going to get married. This is the one. She gets tired of his bullshit. And especially if this had gone 6 months. The attachment. Let Lorne get 6 months of attachment, right? After he gets past the first 3 months, he's going to be whoever he really is. And we know who he really is. But those two have already left, so the third one, he can sense the third one's going to leave. He can't have that. There's no way he can have that. We know his attachment disorder. We know his relationship OCD. He's going to be worried every second of every day what that woman would be doing. I'm telling you the psychology of this real quick. He'd be worried about every second of every day what that woman would be doing. And he knows what a stress that is on him. And he knows how hard it's going to be. So rather than let that happen, he's going to keep her at his house. We talked about being a prisoner. She would have to escape. Eventually, in scenario 3, Lorne's going to have to make a choice. Do I let her go, or do I keep her here? And if she becomes a problem, what do I do? Because if I let her go, I'm going to prison for the rest of my life. So he has to make a choice. And we know what that choice would be. I don't think he would let her out. I also see a scenario where he would tell Roy, I need your help. Depending on what state of mind Roy's in, he'd be, I don't want to fuck with that man. Or maybe he tries to let her out, then Roy becomes a prisoner. But we're talking about Lorne specifically and these scenarios. If the third one can get away clean, the fourth one is not getting away. I have a friend who jokes with his wife, and they've been married 2 times before each, and he said, yeah, well, if we ever talk about a divorce, it's going to be the first one to the guns. And I get it. It's funny. They really love each other. They're a great family. I've been around them personally. He's been a friend of mine for a long time. The point I'm making is that's a joke. But with Lorne, the fourth one, there is no turning back. She can't leave. He can't take it again. He's going to be more desperate. He's already desperate enough. Look at how he jumps from these catfish women to catfish women. He's going to do everything in his power to keep her presence there. He's going to be so desperate. Now imagine, this is desperate Lorne. Imagine if he's been drinking. He's going to do whatever he can to keep her presence there. Now I know a lot of you, the first thing you're thinking is, oh, he's going to bury her under the trailer and she'll always be there. I don't think Lorne is that brave. I think his first victim would be buried away from the trailer, hidden, because he would be panicked and he'd put that body out in the middle of nowhere. But I also think he'd want to go visit it. And he'd be very apologetic, and it might eat him up. But I think the second victim, because there would be a second victim with Lorne, he has an addictive personality. He's drawn to addiction. So I think he would go for victim number 2. Victim number 2 might also be involved in his life, but at the same time, victim number 2 would be someone he could get to show interest in him quickly. Go to a bar, talk to a woman. Even if there's no connection, he creates the connection. So he would see this woman and be like, okay, now I can get my fill. I can keep this woman who I had a connection with. I can keep her close to me. I can put her under my trailer or out where the other one is and start his own little garden of dead women. I just want to say, if anyone is listening to this and they think I'm crazy, you might be right. I'm not saying he's a serial killer. I'm just talking to you about his MO. And I think this will continue. Lorne's going to keep going until he just can't go anymore. He's not strong enough. He doesn't have the energy. We know Lorne's lazy. I believe his MO would go from strangling and a knife to guns because it would be quicker. But when you're dealing with, say, a computer network, if you're doing an install of a new network or a new circuit, right, there's something called a point of presence. Lorne would want that point of presence, that point of connection. He would want that close by. Close. He wants that closeness. He would be singing to these buried women. I think he would. And I believe Lorne, he would want to see their face. He might even dig them up every once in a while. I'm not saying he's Ted Bundy, but Lorne, he isn't right in the head. There's something off. He suffered some kind of brain injury, or he was just born with an abnormality. The way he thinks isn't normal. So that's why I'm going this route. So again, from people that live with him to the bar, and next would probably be prostitutes or paper or plastic. Prostitutes would not be missed, and you know Lorne. He has no regard for them. They're sluts. They would be his prime targets. Lorne made a comment once, sorry if that was extra loud. Lorne made a comment once that he thought his mom was pretty when she was younger. I think we can all say something like that. My mom was a looker, or yeah, my mom, she was pretty, better than, too good for my dad. Something family where you give a compliment and you make mom feel good, but not like Lorne does. Mom, you were hot. Yeah. I wonder if a lot of his women would look like his mom, because he has that issue, some kind of need to be the defender. And in his twisted mind, he would go out and look for these sex workers or whoever else that look like his mom, and in his mind, eradicate them from the earth, because he doesn't want them disrespecting someone of her stature by looking like her and going out and doing this. That is something I definitely can see happening. He has it's like a psycho movie relationship with his mom, where he might dress up as her. I don't know. I wondered for a long time if he didn't dress up in his mom's clothes when he was a kid. There's nothing wrong with dressing up, and I don't care what you do. But this is Lorne, and I wondered if he did it. Maybe it felt good to him. Maybe he enjoyed it, and that's why he has such a problem with guys that are feminine. Friggin', I'm homophobic! In his prison journal, he chronicled, the Gay Chronicles is what I called it, because he talks about it an awful lot in there. Lorne, again, these women that look like his mom, I could see him targeting them. I can also see Lorne taking souvenirs. Some serial killers do, but these are the ones that have their reasons for doing it. We talked about the types of serial killers and what type of serial killer I thought Lorne would be. I don't know if I'll have the time to link the video, but I have the video. I made it in the past. I also am not 100% sure. I don't think he would. I don't think he would keep body parts or any, like a finger or something like that. But you never know. It's Lorne. Do I think he might abuse the body as long as it's warm? Nah. Or yeah. Because if Lorne was having some kind of sexual tryst with one of these prostitutes or a woman that he brought home, like a crackhead or something, and it didn't go well, when the woman's not moving and trying to get away, you know where I'm going with this. If she was unconscious, probably yes. But if she was just alive enough, if you know what I mean, Lorne could do whatever he wanted, and she wouldn't be able to protest or say anything negative about him. I think the first woman that he was with before, I know this is dark, but we're diving in. I think the first woman he was with might have had some issues with trying to have sex with him. I think it's performance issues. I think premature ejaculation is definitely there, and I don't know if he could even achieve climax if he managed to get it hard. Jesus, where am I going with this? I think if that happened, that would cause a lot of anger in him. That would likely be another reason he might go after sex workers, because they are having sex successfully, and that might make him angry. Then again, Lorne could also go after the men who are having sex with the sex workers, because they are able to perform and they are able to have an orgasm and be normal and have a healthy sexual relationship, I guess if you could call it that, with a regular sex worker. I don't know. You guys know where I'm going with this. There are lots of reasons that this man would kill, but most of it is possession and the fear of abandonment. That's a huge thing with Lorne, the fear of abandonment, which is why he jumps from those catfish women, you know, like he's jumping over lava, jumping on stones over lava. Those are just my thoughts. He does scare me. You guys do not. I love you guys. I will see you in the next one.